Hi everybody, I don't know what time of day it is where you are, but to here it's just an absolutely stunning morning. Not a chemtrail in the sky, not a cloud. Well, everyone's on lockdown. I've walked to the shops to get some food, take Sam on a walk. He's really good off the lead around the streets, so he's here with me. Hey Sam. There he is. I wanted to make a video today to explain to you why I haven't been making videos. Had a massive setback a little while ago and wanted to explain to you what happened, and in order to do that I'm going to have to go over the kind of last details of Carol's life, the last moments or last few hours of Carol's life, which is going to be painful, but here we go. So it was Monday, May the 6th, 2019. It was a bank holiday Monday here, which means the kids weren't at school, and you know, it's basically a holiday day. Carol wasn't feeling very well, so she didn't want to come out. We was going to go into town, and I took my youngest Kira, I dropped her off at the cinema with her friends, so she went to the pictures, and me and my oldest daughter, we done a bit of shopping and had a bit of lunch in town. And of course Daniel's at university in a different part of the country. And when we got home, Bethany ran upstairs to see her mum, and her mum was still in bed, but you know, she had died in bed. Unbeknownst to me at the time, she'd been dead for a couple of hours, so, but you know, I didn't know, so I knew when I went to her that she wasn't breathing, there was no heartbeat, so I picked her up off the bed and put her on the floor to do chest compressions whilst Bethany phoned 999. And obviously, I mean, I live in a little village outside of a city called Sussex, a city called Brighton in East Sussex, and it took about 8-10 minutes, I guess, for the paramedics to turn up. And when they did, they worked on her. I mean, I was doing chest compressions for 10 minutes, and when they turned up, they took over, but they didn't work on her very long, because they obviously knew that she had gone. And you know, there was no bringing her back, and so that was that. And doing chest compressions, I've done chest compressions before, and when you do chest compressions on somebody that's been dead for a while, without going into too much grim detail, the lungs are full of fluid. And so I suffered with post-traumatic stress for a while, and for a long while the nightmares and flashbacks were extreme. But I may have explained to you before in another video that I'm a qualified hypnotherapist, and so there's a technique in hypnotherapy called the fast rewind technique, which is really great at treating post-traumatic stress and treating phobias and stuff like that, trauma, you know. And so I worked on myself for a number of months, and the nightmares become less intense and less regular, and the flashbacks stopped completely. And so, well, what happened to me? I started working for a supermarket delivering food, and it's a good job for me because, being an ex-cab driver in this city, I know the roads like the back of my hand. So, so it's not something I have to think very hard. My brain is basically mush, so I can't focus. My attention isn't great because of the trauma, what's happened. And so I don't have to think very hard, so it's a very good job for me. Physically it's very demanding, which is something that I love, because, well, my gym's shut now, we're all on lockdown, everything's shut, so I love that side of it. And so a little while ago I was carrying 8 or 10 bags of shopping up 3 flights of stairs at a block of flats for a little old lady, and I knocked on her door and she opened the door. She looked straight at me and she started talking kind of gobbledygook. I didn't understand it. I didn't even think at the time that she was English, because of what she was saying I didn't understand, and she just fell forward straight on her face. No hands out to protect herself. It was just she was dead before she hit the floor. So I've dropped the shopping and immediately dialed 999, and the lady on the other end of the phone, and I've turned her, the lady that fell, her name was Mary, I turned her over and started CPR. And when I was talking, the lady, I put the 999 call on speakerphone, and they must read from the exact same script, because the exact same words were coming out of her mouth that was coming out of her mouth that was talking to me and Bethany when Carol died. Exact same words, and exact same words that happened in my flashbacks and the nightmares. And so I'm doing chest compressions on Mary, and all I could see was Carol's face below me. Difference being, Mary's heart restarted. She started breathing again, the colour returned to her face, and she moved her arm. But the paramedic, the person on the phone says, whatever you do, don't stop chest compressions until the paramedics get to you. And so I didn't, and of course that's exactly what they said to me when Carol died. So the ambulance crew turned up, they took over, and I went on with my day. Sam, come on. But the nightmares are back, the flashbacks are back, the post-traumatic stress is back, and I feel like I've been thrown right back to square one again. And it's been difficult for me to focus. And it would, I can hear you saying, well, you know, you saved a life, that's fantastic, and that would have been the case, but Mary did recover for about 4 days. She was in intensive care initially, and then she came out of intensive care, and her family were around her, and she was talking to her family and looking forward to life, and she was going to come out of hospital on the weekend, and it all looked great. But on the Friday she got up to go to the bathroom, got out of the hospital bed, had a massive bleed on the brain, collapsed on the floor and had a massive stroke. Now she's basically on end of life, I think, and her family are distraught. I've met her family, and they're just beautiful people, such lovely, welcoming, very grateful for what I did. But why do that to me again? And this probably sounds very selfish. It is happening to them, it's happening to their mum, their family. But if she wasn't going to survive, then what was the point? I don't understand why I have to go through this again. And if I had knocked that door, and this again very selfish, but if I'd have knocked that door 5 seconds later, Mary would have collapsed in the hallway. I wouldn't have heard. I would have thought that she wasn't in, and Mary would have passed away peacefully. Her family could mourn her, wouldn't have to go through this trauma of seeing their mum die. I wouldn't be back at square one. But it's like, well, I could see, not the light at the end of the tunnel, but I could see a tunnel at least. Now it's gone again. Nightmares are back, flashbacks are back. And it's like, why take one step forward and the universe just kicks me straight back again? I'm just tired. I'm so tired of it all. and so that's why I haven't been making any videos. But again, I'm just getting up off the canvas, pulling myself up off the rope, by the ropes again, and just put one foot in front of the other. I pray for Mary's family and Mary that she'll pull through, but it really doesn't look very good at all. So that's why I haven't been making videos, but I will start again. Why not? Maybe someone will get something out of them, especially during this lockdown. That's another thing I want to talk about. I want to do videos on this corona. I mean, I've mentioned it before at the start of Sam's day. Sam, come on. I mentioned it before at the start of these the videos that I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, and this kind of all fits into what me and my best friend Doug, who's now passed away as well, talked about, that this sort of thing was going to happen, that we were going to be locked down and the whole society was changing and this would be the new normal. But we're not, we're human beings, we're not designed to be socially isolated, and it will break us. So I'll do another video on that, and I know it's a very unpopular topic to talk about, how this may be another way of, it's more like a control grab than anything else, you know. Social isolation is basically more social conditioning than anything else. But anyway, so onwards and upwards, start making some more videos, and listen, stay safe, be careful, keep your family close, and love to you all. Take care, bye bye.